15.
Good match these two played at Queen's as well, as Jim alluded to. In hot conditions in the summer at that event. We're in the midst of a heat wave, in fact, during Queen's this year. And this man pushed him very close.
Four.
15 all.
How is he able to do that, Jim? Well, obviously, he's beaten him, but what are some of the tools that he's got that you touched on it briefly, but from a tactical perspective, that he has been able to get under his skin a bit?
Well, Alcaraz loves to have time to operate, and Lehecka is not interested in giving him any. He wants to thump the ball, Lehecka, at every opportunity. Whether it's his serve, that last serve was 130 miles an hour, whether it's his forehand or his two-hander, and also, Lehecka has nice feel for a power player. A lot of the same qualities that Alcaraz brings to the table, with threats off the forehand and the backhand, and then finesse that can really make things difficult for his opponents. Lehecka can do that too. Now, is he as fluid at it? Absolutely not. Is he as comfortable at the net? Definitely not. But when they played in Doha, the drop shots were pretty evenly distributed as far as both players forcing the other out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, that match was at night, and it does get quite cool in Doha at night, doesn't it, in February? This man's been working with him for quite a while now. The son of Yaroslav Natil, who spearheaded the Czechs to some pretty famous Davis Cup victories many years ago.
Wow. That is quite extraordinary quality of this hitting, and as soon as he hits the forehand down the line, I look to my left, and before I know it, he's on top of the net. Nuclear athleticism on display early doors. And I think as well, Nick, in that athletic department, Lehecka's not that far behind either. He moves really well. Not quite the same raw athleticism as we get from Alcaraz, but he's got a good set of wheels on him.
He's got, speaking of that, his quads look like he should be riding the Tour de France. This guy is one of the founding members currently of the quad squad on tour. That double fault brings him a little more
advantage.
Of a perilous situation here. Another break chance for the Spaniard. There are quite a few breaks of serve on that hard court meeting in Doha. Perhaps the cooler temperatures making it easier to attack the serves, but both of them had trouble winning points on their own second serves.
Alcaraz.
And if you're a fan of the Spaniard, you will be. Quick look at the numbers on serve. He's been almost impenetrable in that department so far here at the US Open. way through. Despite Lehecka's efforts, and they were substantial. What a stunning point.
The last tournament Alcaraz played and won was in Cincinnati, and it's not played in Cincinnati proper. It's played next to an amusement park called Kings Island. And that point had all the sounds that you would hear of people riding the roller coasters. That is the Alcaraz experience. It's not just visual, it's audio as well.
And he rides you with it, doesn't he, Jim?
And I'm telling you, like,
30.
we have been so lucky to live the Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray and all, like Serena Williams, all these amazing, iconic players. But I've never heard the crowds make sounds like that in points for them. It was always at the end of the points after they did something jaw-dropping. But his stuff happens multiple times in a single point. It's nothing like it.
He takes them on a fun ride, that's for sure. And does it, as we have said, with a smile on his face, which isn't always the case in this pressure cooker of an environment these players operate in day to day.
Game Alcaraz.
As that first serve got better this season because the one outlying number
Alcaraz
last year was the
leads
point on the
by 3
first serve,
games
wasn't it? He was at
First serve.
low 70s, which was way down in the category. It's not made a whole lot of difference, but have we seen improvements in that first serve? As we remind you to go to usopen.org if you haven't already.
The answer in the statistics at the moment is no, we have not seen it. There really have been very little changes in his first serves made or accuracy to within 2 feet of the line. That's still the biggest growth area in his game. The accuracy differential, where he hits the ball close to the line compared to Sinner. Sinner hits it 20% of the time closer. Huge difference. Sinner's also almost 4 inches taller.
15-11.
But I think it looks better. I like the way that it starts smoothly and it sort of just uncoils at a very consistent clip. I think it's less herky-jerky.
Rhythmically, you feel it's smoother.
Thank you for synthesizing my thoughts.
Anytime.
My wife would like me to hire you full-time for that.
I'll check with my agent.
Yeah,
for you,
tell me what the rate is.
Yeah.
30-11.
Robbie's actually my agent, so I will speak to him later.
Very good.
We speak about so many of the shots that he possesses, but even when he's improvising, his improvisation is probably some of the best that we have of anyone on tour. Soft skills, as I like to call them. And I'd love to sit down with his dad and just understand how this all came about. Did Dad help teach him when he was young, because Dad was his coach? Or was it just inbred? Did he just visually see it and was able to replicate it as a junior? Because as we know, Nick, there's another one coming up.
Lehecka.
Yep, younger brother. And he's making some waves in the junior game. He's got a fair bit to live up to. So one break in the bank already for the Spaniard. A win today will also see him pass the 10,000 points barrier for the first time in his career. The accumulation of ATP points, of course, we're
Might
alluding
need some
to.
oxygen for that. That's rare air.
Yeah.
He's going to get number one
15
soon.
all.
Sinner has a lot more points to defend this fall than Alcaraz does, and if Alcaraz matches Sinner's output, let's say that they were both to lose in the same round here, he's ahead in the live race by just 60 points, but that's enough. So he would be number one when the next rankings come out next Monday. But if Sinner outperforms him, he'll retain it for a bit longer. Held number one through a 3-month suspension was kind of amazing. Alcaraz
13
almost seemed to go into a funk without his main rival on the tour.
Yep.
He really didn't play particularly well in the hard courts following Australia, but once he hit the dirt, he hit pay dirt.
Some fairly low-hanging fruit.
14 15.
He was able to take advantage of. He was unlucky here.
Well, I tell you what, that forehand feels even bigger than the other night against Rinderknecht. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but he is dialing that thing in early doors.
Game Alcaraz.
So far, he has only lost 1 point on
Alcaraz
serve as well.
leads by 4 games to 2.
All the areas working
First
nicely.
set.
Well, one of the things with Alcaraz is U.S. Open champion Kim Clijsters watches on as at times players hang their hat when they play him on him having a dip in concentration, and we have not seen him drop off much in this tournament, which is why, as you rightfully pointed out, this is the first time he's made it to the quarters of a slam without dropping a set.
Out.
Does that mean he's playing
Love
boring
it.
tennis, guys? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Don't think there's too many that would be in that corner, Jim.
I think I'd be on an island if I suggested that one.
Yeah. He's made it, and Alcaraz recognizing just how good that was.
15 all.
And that's a big point too, because 15 all versus love 30, that the energy you feel as a server at love 30, there's extra tension. That will relax Lehecka a bit. That is a smart serve. Lehecka hits 101 at the forehand of Alcaraz, who's standing on top of the baseline. That gets onto Alcaraz quickly. Alcaraz can handle that with the two-handed backhand much easier because it's an abbreviated swing, more stability. There's so many more free points available with second serves at the forehand when they're standing in close.
14 for 10.
And I looked at their service direction through our friends at Hawkeye from Doha, and Lehecka didn't go at his forehand at all there, and he got pummeled on his second serve. So nice to see the adjustments they're both making on the back of that.
Imposing himself.
Lehecka.
in that game, impressively, Lehecka.
New. Love 15.
Jim mentioned Juan Carlos Ferrero, of course, who's been coaching him since he was 13 years of age. And the story actually goes that his dad, Carlos's father, grew up watching Sergei Bruguera, similar sort of era, and Sergei was coached by his father. And Carlos Sr. apparently was wary of that relationship. Wasn't always the easiest relationship. So that's why he was happy to let someone else take the reins. Did you see any of that? You were around Bruguera's era, Jim?
Sure. Yeah, very much so.
15.
And Sergei's turned into quite a good coach himself. But there's no question that it's not for everybody. Not everyone's going to have that ability to thread the needle the way that Christian and Casper Ruud have and maintain a really healthy relationship as well as a professional one. It's not easy.
And of course, that was off the back of the coaching relationship that Ferrero had with Zverev. Remember that ended early in January of 2018. It was soon off the back of that he was approached by Albert Molina to say, hey, I've got this project for you. And this young kid, and initially, Ferrero was not so sure until he saw him play. I think the timing was perfect for JCF.
30.
And he's been able to mold Alcaraz, use all his experience. And perfect timing after splitting up with Zverev.
The irony now that Zverev, of course, has sought some Spanish help again in his bid to try and further his career.
Opportunity missed from Lehecka. Had a second serve to work with at 30 all. A chance to get to a break point for the first time today. And shove that backhand into the net. A little tight.
Let's for serve.
Serve's working beautifully so far, isn't it? Half an hour in here. He's close to 80% first serves made.
5 games to 3.
And
first set.
Those last couple serves in the ad court were right up next to the line with plenty of pace on them. That was pretty darn awesome from Alcaraz to avoid a problem. Here's where when Alcaraz stands in close, you don't want to hit your second serve to his backhand. You want to go body. That's not a good one. You got away with that. You want to go body or forehand body. Because if you give him a chance, especially in the deuce court, to hit the backhand, he's already kind of moving back to the center of the court. So he's not only having a comfortable hit, he's also got control of the center. Both of those are things you want to avoid if you're Lehecka. You got to be super strategic with your first 2 shots in the rally. You can't control much more than that. Once you get past the second shot in rallies, you're pretty much ad-libbing. But you can game plan. If I serve it out wide, I'm likely to get a return cross court. Then I'll have open court to go down the line with the forehand. Or I can go behind my opponent. After that, you're sort of on your own using instincts.
fabulous shot at full stretch. That's the sort of power he possesses.
40-11.
I mean, with their athleticism, their spin, it's almost like they can change the geometry of the court with shots like this.
Ball.
And the higher ranked player is winning, and he's had a break early on, but this is so much more competitive than Sinner and Bublik last night, which was just a rout because Bublik couldn't hang in the baseline exchanges at all with Sinner. Lehecka can to a certain degree here.
Ball.
Yeah, those numbers borne out by the, look at the points won by rally length. It's pretty even. That's good pressure again from this young, promising Czech, who's going to force Alcaraz. Been a good day on serve so far for the former champion here.
Ball.
Been frugal on his own deal thus far.
The quality of this ground stroking, it's just phenomenal. Baseline rallies just saturated in quality.
I love how compact their backhands have both become. I mean, Alcaraz has made a switch on his own this year.
Tennis from both men. And Alcaraz being forced to raise his game here by this young Czech.
15-all.
How good was this, Jim?
This was potentially love 30 as Alcaraz tries to close it out. Amazing movement, anticipation, and ultimately a wag of the finger. Same thing goes with this second serve. Into the body or the forehand is the best idea. And he goes there, and he didn't do that at all in Doha. So what that tells me is that his team looked at the same stuff that we did and said, you're winning not enough second serve points. The last time we played him on a hard court, we've got to mix and match a little bit. So good work from the teams, both of them.
Ball.
Please. Let's. Second serve.
Second serve direction in that side.
15.
That's fine because you're pushing your player off the court. So that worked well and ultimately gets him to his destination, which is double set point.
he still had a fair bit of work to do.
40-13.
Lehecka gets on the highlight reel. This was awesome because this angle was acute. You got to do something spectacular to get it past this speed demon. 1 set point down, 1 to go.
First game he's been tested on serve. He's only still lost collectively 6 points on his own deal in this set. He's been exceptionally frugal in that particular category, but this game is proving problematic.
Advantage, Alcaraz.
Lehecka is understandably flustered because he's playing well, but Alcaraz is playing at a level higher. His first serves are so close to the line today, so much better than usual. We'll see if he can sustain it, but right now it's been tough on Jiri.
Game and first set,
Alcaraz wins a 13th straight set here in New York. It's still an unblemished record. The Spaniard takes it 6 games to 4. Playing his 4th US Open, Jiri Lehecka. Evidence would suggest so far that this is a surface that he's most comfortable on. Only other major quarterfinal came in 23 when he lost to Stefanos Tsitsipas in that breakthrough a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think he likes these warm, hard court conditions.
15.
You have a look at the titles as well that he's been able to garner. Brisbane, it gets hot and humid there. I think Adelaide was the other one.
Ball.
$15-13.
That first volley was out of this world.
So good.
Because he hardly even had a split step. He just attacked it to control the pace of the balls. To still keep it in was remarkable.
Oh, he got stuck with his feet. Lehecka looked like he was in concrete after Alcaraz reflexed. And now he's in peril of taking his serve and throwing it away in the opening game. He just needed his feet to stay more lively there.
Ball.
It's a bad feeling. They got that serve taken first game on the opening set, couldn't recover it.
Tennis, the acceleration, but it's the deceleration, isn't it? How quickly you'll get out of the corner and you just go again. That makes these guys, so many of them, so athletic.
Ball.
love 15.
Bumped into Juan Carlos Ferrero here and asked him about Alcaraz's backhand. Andre Agassi, we were so lucky to have him join the broadcast for American television at Roland Garros, and Andre did a fascinating breakdown on the change technically from last year to this year, where the racket is much lower. The racket head is not up near Carlos's head as he winds up. It's much more down in mid-torso, his hands down by his pockets, if you will. Tennis there, and important not to go love 30, but Alcaraz felt that it was important to have the ability to have a shorter backswing and have it more on the line of the ball and not have as much motion in the swing. And I assumed that that must have been Juan Carlos or Samuel Lopez, the other coach on the team, their idea. And Juan Carlos is like, no, that was all Carlos. He just did it and just showed up and started doing it. And it's a much shorter, compact swing.
30, 15.
He's really done it seamlessly. If you look at it in slow-mo and then watch Djokovic in slow-mo, it's remarkable how much closer it looks to Novak's all-time great two-hander. The one thing I'm not sure of, I'm not sure if it is hindering his ability to hit drop shots on the backhand. I'm not seeing them as much, but a drop shot, you really do need to cut down on the ball. So I think it actually hurts his ability to hit backhand drop shots.
So technically what you're saying, the lower swing makes it tricky for him to execute
because you're not able to cut down on the ball, right? You're starting at a lower place.
Out.
But my biggest takeaway on it was the amount of creativity that lives in this man's body, because Juan Carlos said not only did he change that, he said they're constantly telling him to go back to what he was doing because he's changing things all the time. I think it's just fun for him to play with all the toys in the sandbox. It's a pretty big sandbox.
Alcaraz.
It's such a fascinating story, Jim.
Alcaraz
And again, it takes me back to trying to get inside his head as a young kid, you know. Is all the stuff that we see, just his creativity, his ability to see something on TV and then just replicate what he thinks is a good swing, because I mean, technically he is so sound in every department. Be great to have a round table discussion with Dad and Carlos.
It's a good volley. I think one thing's pretty clear, that these two that are currently head and shoulders above the rest are making surely the likes of Lehecka look at themselves in the mirror, because if they have aspirations to win majors, surely these guys are being pushed to get better, you would think, Jim, right? If they have aspirations.
Oh, for sure. Oh, the train's left the station. You better just keep up. It's tough.
Let's first serve.
One of the disappointments in this men's tennis season is that Jack Draper hasn't been able to build as much on his amazing win at Indian Wells due to health issues. And Ben Shelton the same here, building serious momentum this summer, guys, and had that fluke injury against Adrian Manarino a few rounds ago. But you look at the chase pack, and those lefties were making an impression.
Totally.
But they're off the field for the moment.
Ah. 40-11.
It's a very solid hold.
Lehecka.
Frustratingly, the break in the second has come at the same time as the break in the first. 2-1.
Second set.
First of the quarterfinals, focusing on the bottom half of the draw. So far, so good for the former champion. Robbie, just to develop the conversation on young players and progress, how much room do you see for growth in Lehecka's game in terms of his development?
Oh, definitely. Plenty of upside. I think he'll be more adept if he can continue to come forward. I do think when you move well, you give yourself a few more options, Nick. Of course, he's relatively young to tour life. Missed a good chunk of last season as well. So, you know, for Jiri, a lot of these majors, he hasn't played in many of them. And I think the more he gets used to this tougher competition, I think, first of all, the more you find out about your game. And it helps you to fine-tune those areas. Sometimes it's not as glaringly obvious when you're going through the earlier rounds. So more of this will help him tidy up certain areas.
Yeah, this is just his 14th major of his career.
13-15.
Yeah, so he's pretty much in his infancy, isn't he? He's already a top 20 player after this tournament, whatever happens today.
$14-15.
9 from 11 when he's come in thus far today. His soft skills that Robbie mentioned on full display.
Nick, I think so often in matches, moments matter.
14-13.
And I think Jiri will get better at handling moments. Sometimes I think he gets too audacious in important moments in matches, and if he can just temper that, sometimes being solid, still aggressive, but perhaps bigger targets from the back of the court, that's an area he could improve on.
Game Alcaraz.
I saw a lovely interview with Taylor Fritz just a couple of weeks ago speaking about exactly that. He says
Alcaraz leads
that's the biggest
by 3 games
understanding
to 1.
that he's had
Second
since
set.
making the finals here, is that you don't always have to play your best tennis in moments that matter in matches. And that sometimes just being solid is good enough, not overplaying.
Do give us a follow on all the social media channels if you're on them. Here at usopen.org, that'll keep you well across events here as we reach the business end.
Let's first serve.
Ball.
Love 15.
Ah.
15 all.
First set numbers have just improved marginally in this set. Still perhaps not quite where he'd want to be though.
First serve.
His actual averages are on the low side, aren't they? If you look at his season numbers. He was off and running.
15-13.
And sadly, from Lehecka's perspective, the ball tracked him.
Two of Jiri's biggest shots, one of his biggest serves, one of his biggest forehands, returned with interest.
Thank you.
And that's where that abbreviated lower take-back backhand really comes into play, able to handle that pace. There's one thing that I find truly remarkable, and there are many, but this is worth pointing out, I think, is at 6 feet tall, Alcaraz just simply doesn't have the ability to cover the return of serve against bomb servers the way that someone like Sinner does. He doesn't have the wingspan. And yet, as he gets to another break point here, in the last 52 weeks, nobody has won more first serve return points than Carlos Alcaraz. How is that possible? He should be getting aced significantly more than most. Those fast twitch muscles don't care, do they? He just gets the it's unbelievable.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, Jim, but it doesn't feel like he chips many back either, does it?
No.
He's had a fair assessment.
Yeah.
He hits them.
He's got a great eye, obviously, and then the brain to the feet, those signals seem to get there pretty quickly, and everything just works in sync. It's unreal. How lucky are we in this sport? Good save. Lehecka just stay in touch if he can hold serve.
Advantage Lehecka.
And hope that Alcaraz gives him a little something to work with at some point.
And he will do that. That's a rare unforced error. Yeah, track athlete, I think Luca is.
Oh, the anticipation set them off, Jim.
They thought they were going to see this tweener be a winner. It would eventually sail long, but really nice feel from the Czechian. Missed it, and here's a chance. Love 30 for Lehecka. A little too careless with that volley. A little too much showtime.
Yeah, the return put Alcaraz in a slightly awkward spot, didn't it? But nonetheless, the volley by his standards was not a particularly...
Had that covered, Nick.
Yeah.
Had that covered right in front of my eyes here. It's one of the very rare times this field has let him down in this match.
The field let him down, but his mind let him down more. Should have just been a regulation stick volley deep. That was just a little too much showtime.
He went after Was he right to do so, Jim?
13.
And you can understand his desire to take control of the point early, but Alcaraz went a little riskier with the second serve up the tee. It wasn't a safe one, 100 miles an hour. And when Lehecka's 5 feet inside the baseline, that's a tough ask for the Czech to make that return.
Lehecka must have thought he was in with a shout here. But the Spaniard once more had the solution.
30.
Are you kidding me? Otherworldly. Playing at galactic levels is Alcaraz.
Yeah, that's the reaction you would expect from Lehecka. What more could he do with 15-30? Alcaraz, I even love 30. Alcaraz is just taking it from him. He hasn't done anything wrong, Lehecka.
Still yet to get a look at a break point in this match. He's the Czech.
Game Alcaraz.
The case.
New
I
ball
mentioned there was such a telling forehand
Alcaraz leads
midway
by
through
4
that
games
Love
to
30
2.
rally when they were
7-6.
going toe-to-toe, and then often one of the criticisms we had of Alcaraz is he just does not back down. And he wants to keep firing on that forehand, but he hit a high, heavy forehand after a couple of trades with Lehecka, and that's the kind of fine-tuning he's often been asked to do by us in the booth, because he does get himself in trouble by trying to go too big. And I'm just wondering if that kind of shaping the shot just a little bit more cerebral in the moment just kept him alive in the rally. Very interesting for me to see that unfold.
There's more of that variety, Robbie.
Love
Creativity, thy name is Carlos. I mean, is there anything this guy can't do?
And this is the sort of shot you're forced into at the end of it, isn't it? Because it's so high risk. You sense he just feels he has to go for it. Look at the rallies won over 9. Pretty good for Alcaraz so far.
Love 13.
And the door was slightly ajar at Love 30 a game ago, and now Alcaraz is setting up shop for another break.
Yeah, I think Luke Jensen would describe that as coming in with your Bible.
Very good.
On-return serve number's not been great today, has it? Which hasn't helped him. If you look at it, Alcaraz, as Jim said, has put a lot of returns into play. There's about a 10% difference, in fact, in unreturned serves. Alcaraz is 10% up on the Czech.
Yeah, and the average serve speeds are exactly the same, but accuracy is not. Alcaraz is exceptional in that department today with his first serve.
Out. 15-14.
Sergio Garcia, golfer, fellow Spaniard, loves his tennis. Quite a good player, actually. Sergio, he'll know that this is a big moment in the match.
$30-14.
Ball.
Game
Signs are ominous
Alcaraz.
for Lehecka right now. Serving then for a two-step lead.
Ah. 15 love.
That backhand miss from Lehecka was an expression of his disappointment right now. He flailed at that backhand. It missed by 20 feet long.
Ah. 15 all.
Winner of this match, of course, will take on the winner of tonight's match. And what a good one it should be. Djokovic and Fritz under the lights here at prime time.
Ball.
Fritz has never beaten the Serb. This would be some stage if he could achieve it this evening.
0-10. 0-10 is the head-to-head in favor of Novak. But Fritz has been talking his chances up, saying, I'm better. And the fact of the matter is, Novak's body has been fragile. And if Fritz can make it physical, you just don't know. The physios have been seeing Novak on court with a little too much frequency in this tournament.
Yep.
So he's got two battles ahead. He's got an American who is hungry, and he's got a 38-year-old body that feels like it's maybe duct taped together. Alcaraz had a trainer come out a couple of rounds ago, thought he had a right leg knee problem, had a little light massage, and then went on to rattle off the next 7 games against Jiri. So he's been seen by the trainer, but not since.
Game and second set, Alcaraz.
A ninth major quarterfinal, semi-final, excuse me, is just around the corner, it would seem, for the great Spaniard.
Alcaraz leads by 2 sets to 0.
And I think one number that's especially interesting is the unforced error count, because obviously that can be a fine line, I think it's fair to say, but just look through the last 3 rounds. 12 unforced errors today, 11 against Rindignesh, and 12 against Jiri. He's not giving much away, is he? Either.
Love 13.
That's the last 3 rounds.
Robbie, can you intervene here and somehow manufacture a hold to serve at the opening of the set for Lehecka?
I don't know if I have the tools for that.
15-13.
Lehecka, it's Mayday, Mayday. He was serving and volleying there at love 30 for the first time today. We see that from him. That's how desperate he is to change his fortune in this game. Either that or he's practicing for doubles in Davis Cup, because he'll play the USA in Delray Beach, Florida in a little over a week's time in the qualifying rounds to see who will get to play in the finals of the Davis Cup in Italy later this year.
The US not looking quite as strong as they were a few weeks ago.
Now, with Ben Shelton likely unavailable due to injury, Tommy Paul possibly in the same situation, you do have Tiafoe and Fritz if you're Captain Bob Bryant. But the Czechs have Burdick, they have Mahach. They're good. That's going to be a tussle. He did it. Robbie, way to go.
I think it was a certain volley. I sent him some of the Koenig vibes from the early 90s, John.
Alcaraz also locked in to play that very lucrative EXO in Saudi in October, which comes right off the back of Shanghai, which is the pinnacle of the Asian swing. Good event, that.
Did you go to the Six Kings last year?
No. Robbie did, though, I believe.
Yep.
15.
We're fired up to play. It was a lot of cash on the line. $6 million for the winner. I think it's what Jannik Sinner took home.
Let's.
Wouldn't be a huge surprise to see a Masters 1000 added in that part of the world, would it, in coming years? That's certainly the whispers. February time.
Oh, he didn't do that. Just breaking the ankles of his opponent with that little slide drop shot.
15.
This is just amazing instincts and skill. Like just the vision to think that that's your #1 option. I mean, it's outrageous.
Fourteen, 15.
Brother and father of Carlos enjoying this match, no doubt.
Game Alcaraz.
Serve has been exceptional today. Once again hitting his spots as Jim
1 game all,
mentioned.
3rd set.
And he's hitting it bigger today, too. Like, that's what's even more impressive is that he's making so many good first serves in there in great locations, and he's also hitting it 5 miles an hour harder on average than he did en route to this round.
Off the serve, Jim, or off
Yeah,
the ground?
off the serve.
Yeah, the forehand feels bigger as well. I think that might be cranked up.
It was cranked, but Robbie, some of those mixing forehands have dropped it a little bit, but don't be fooled.
No, good point.
That top speed has been lethal. He's hit several up in the 105 mile an hour range. Vapor trails everywhere down there, I'm sure.
Know it.
Fault.
Love 13.
Against a lot of players, Alcaraz on second serve ventures deep for the return, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Buys himself time to hit a regulation ground stroke, but against Lehecka, he's decided, and it makes sense given how often he's breaking serve, that standing in close is his best option. That's a great first serve, 132. That's the fastest of the day for
15,
Lehecka.
13.
But his second serve, it's big. It's 102, 103 miles an hour on average, but Alcaraz seems to be comfortable taking it early and not giving up any court position. Maybe because Lehecka hits a ton on the groundies as well.
13.
First serve in this set has improved drastically. Made 8 of 10 first deliveries, as he looks to try and avoid going down an early break. Oh yes, please. What a finish that was.
40, 13.
Well, I thought I saw an Aussie to the right of me for a second there, but that is some elevation sensation from Lehecka. That's one of the toughest shots in the book.
That's not bad either, is it? He's decided that perhaps attack is the best form. Must have broken records here over the course of the last 2 weeks for attendance. It's just been bustling outside day after day.
Let's first serve.
Of course, we had 230,000 for the opening week, didn't we, for the fan week?
Fifteen, 11.
I'm not sure that Lehecka is totally upper echelon speed, but one thing that he does well is move up the court very quickly to cover drop shots. Those powerful quads in gear.
Let's first serve.
And That muscle does matter when you're changing directions and trying to accelerate quickly. Lehecka's got plenty of it. Something one of the young rising stars in men's tennis, João Fonseca, is going to need to do is add more muscle into his legs so he can hit the brakes quicker. His movement is one of the things that has held him back a little bit this year in his first real season on tour. His shots are mightily impressive, though, fellas. Huh? He's got so much power, doesn't he, Fonseca?
Yep. And a lot of attention on him, right, Jim, as well,
Sure.
back in Brazil.
Sure. But that's the easy work to be done, is the physical work. It takes time. We've seen that with players, and he's more lanky along the lines of Jannik Sinner as João Fonseca. He wasn't built like this. I think, Robbie, did you call him a bulldog? Like a running back?
Yeah, Pitbull.
Pitbull, that's the one.
Game Alcaraz.
Fonseca losing to Thomas Mahach in the second round here.
Shame in that.
2 games
on his day
third
is
sets.
top 10 level.
Yep.
He's just not consistently there. Fonseca's going to be fun to watch. Give him another couple of years, and I think we'll have a real idea of if he's going to be able to challenge the very best. And this man is certainly going to be in that conversation, barring injury. We should be lucky enough to have another decade to 15 years of Alcaraz. We'll see.
(15-11).
Spaniard already, of course, has 5 majors under his belt. And having spent the preceding 15 years talking about how no one was ever going to catch the big three, as ludicrous as it may sound, if he continues at this rate, he could be pretty close, couldn't he?
Good time to be alive and to be a tennis fan, Nick.
Yeah.
So good. And here comes the challenge for Lehecka. And the challenge is clearly going to be great for Alcaraz or Sinner or anyone to try and post the same types of numbers as the big three. But if you just look at where they were at 22 years old, Federer had 1 major. Djokovic had 1 major. Nadal, he had 4. So Alcaraz is tracking in that conversation and then some. Sinner is also in that discussion. Misses. But Sinner and Alcaraz have a chance to do something sooner than any of those
30
iconic players did, and that's to have a career Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Very young. They're just missing 1 major. This guy knows a thing or two about winning major golf championships, doesn't he, Sergio?
Got a green jacket at home, isn't he?
He does. Alcaraz needs to win on the blue courts of Australia to get his career slam. Too much there. He's going to. He's joined in that challenge by Iga Swiatek. She also needs an Aussie Open to have the career slam, having won Wimbledon, and then Roland Garros for Jannik Sinner. Those are win, not ifs, aren't they?
I certainly think so. Good offensive tennis being played right now from Jiri Lehecka.
Stadium. Laura dug a big hole and had to jump in it.
Yeah, she's sitting alongside me, Jim, and
yeah,
I'm going to remind her
it was
of
good
that
value.
bet. Well, I tell you what, she was clicking away, happy to take photos of it.
That's our Laura. We love her.
Shameless.
Yes.
Love.
Well, I guess if you aren't overly enamoured with it, and someone says to me, where did you get engaged? You just say, in Arthur's house. Leave it at that, right?
Got engaged in Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah. In New York City. Go big.
He's trying to get a big in this set, isn't he? There's those first serve points won again that have been particularly high today.
Nick, you're going to have to help me with my next question to Jim, because he doesn't like to talk about himself, but I've got something that I want to get Jim's input on, please. Give him a nudge there if you have to.
I'll try.
Guys, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back.
It is delicious.
Alcaraz.
It's not often that we get to commentate with somebody who's achieved what you have achieved in the game. Just take us inside your mind when you are playing at the top of your game, like these players are. You're cruising through the early rounds and majors. You've been at the top of the game like you were. Do you just feel invincible all the time, Jim?
Well, there's no question that Carlos would be feeling a huge sense of confidence now, because he's built, since the clay court season, such an incredible runway, a platform to work off of. And I'll tell you what I believe confidence really is. Confidence is really perception, Robbie. Confidence is the way a confident player looks at an outcome is different than a player who is questioning themselves. You could hit a shot that misses by an inch, and if you're an unconfident player, you'll bemoan it. Why did I miss that? Why am I always missing that shot? That's the lens that you're looking through. But a confident player looks at it and goes, oh, well, I'm going to make that next time. And that really is it. Confidence is a magical perception that players have when they've had results. And you can't bottle it up or buy it. There are many sports psychologists that work hard to help people think that way, but results are what deliver it.
Yep.
13-15.
That's brilliant.
What makes this sport particularly difficult to maintain confidence is 128 start and only one walks away undefeated in a tournament of this stature. So the questions for these athletes are constantly being asked at each tournament for the most part, and dents are taken to their confidence.
Yet again, Alcaraz orchestrating proceedings.
30-14.
Lehecka missed an opportunity to go right around the net post here. It was on. He could have hit this one so low, and he opted to go cross-court right into the racket that was waiting for it. Didn't make Alcaraz's shot easy necessarily, but that is difficult. And here's break point. What a moment. And what a response.
Just
Fair to say that confidence is eroded a lot quicker than it's built, Jim, in tennis.
Oh, you bet.
Or in sport.
thank you.
And Jim, did you ever learn to lose, given how much losing does go on?
Lehecka.
Did you have a formula for it?
What the great coaches do, Robbie, and what my coaches did for me was to redirect my attention to process. Try to keep getting better every day.
Let's first serve.
But the person you should be asking that to, and hopefully you'll get a chance to one day, because I would love to know the answer, is Rafa Nadal and his processes. How in the world did he never treat any point differently the whole time? And he took a lot of tough losses. Sure he did. And it never, I mean, the guy never gave a bad press conference. He always gave props to his opponents. Never made excuses.
Jiri Lehecka hasn't come out hanging tough in this third set. Has been able to get a set at least, of course, in the last two meetings.
15 love.
Out.
30 love.
I feel like the serve has been a pretty big focus at the US Open for so many players, isn't it? Spent tireless amount of time talking about Coco Gauff's serve, Djokovic's serve. We've talked about a lot how effective that's been. Jannik Sinner, we've talked about his serve, how it's been challenging.
And Lorenzo Musetti. Just gone to the platform the last week or so from the pinpoint. Nice catch up with Lorenzo from our good friend Gil
40
Cruz.
love.
Lorenzo explained it very nicely to him. He wasn't happy with it. Just tweaked it a week or two ago. Wanted to get more weight on his back leg. Felt he was leaning too much forward on the left.
Game Alcaraz.
Yeah, he looked good yesterday, Rob, didn't he? Musetti.
He has lost 2 rounds.
4 games on third set.
You know, historically, this time of the year hasn't really been that productive for him. He seems to be in a good space. He hasn't expended a lot of energy, has he, Nick? A couple of comfortable matches, the last 2. Kabali being a little tired, injured.
Yep.
And of course, Muno certainly was carrying some sort of illness.
Out.
15 love.
Out.
30 love. 30-15. Let's first serve.
Fault.
30 all.
A moment of tension for Lehecka, and there have been many on serve in this set for these players. Just one great point so far. Alcaraz had one, didn't get it.
Yeah, every single service game in this set, he's been at 30 all.
Just feel it coming, that 30-love
30-14.
lead evaporating, just sand falling right through his fingers. Another break chance here for Carlitos.
To give at the end of another arduous exchange. Alcaraz simply not going up in the last four.
Love.
The Murthian Maverick in all his glory.
30-11.
For almost 2 hours, Rob, as well. Just poured it on today.
Hasn't he just?
Please.
Carlos Alcaraz proves to be a cut above once more. What a summer he's having. He locks down what will be a 9th career major semi-final. He's swinging freely. He's swinging beautifully. He's through in straight sets in a couple of minutes shy of 2 hours.
Lehecka put up a real challenge, and yet on the scoreboard it was smooth sailing